Hello, welcome to Selling from the Heart. And today it's all about play and games. Yes, don't you remember as a kid how we used to play board games, card games, video games, and how much fun we had, right? Well, this actually does apply to business as well. We just somehow got programmed or we forgot that it can be fun. So this show is about how we turn our projects, our money moving ventures into a game within the team spirit, with ourselves, a game we play with ourselves or with our partners in business, and how much fun it is. And that fun is what moves the honey. Money, money, honey,
Yeah.
Honey, honey.
money, honey. Yeah. So, one example would be I played on a team recently,
Yeah.
and we were each going to bring good new people to the network. We were offering a new class. And so we thought, okay, well, of course, we'll play for it, but what if we played for it for each other? Like every time we brought one, we would celebrate with a song. So what we did was every time someone brought a new person, they would bring this song that meant so much to them and would play it, and we would just celebrate each other's win. And so it created a really beautiful team spirit, and it worked, right?
Aw.
And it made it more fun than just like sometimes we have tasks, sometimes we have goals, sometimes we it just adds a level of playfulness that just makes it so much lighter, so much more enjoyable. And the results are the byproduct, right? It's about the fun first, and then the results and the money movement come with it naturally. So hey, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah. How cool. So you guys were in a selling team,
Yes.
and then if somebody brought in on the phone or Zoom or Skype, somebody new on the
Yes.
phone or something, the song was sung to the new person or to the person that brought
To our team. It
to the
was
team
inside the
member.
team. Yeah. And
Ah,
so we were playing off each other, like, oh, cool song. One woman brought like a fun Queen song, another brought a fun Hawaii song.
but only after you got that person got one person in.
Someone in. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's
So
awesome.
it's like a game within a game, but it works
Yeah.
for that group. That might not work for you, but it's to find fun ways to bring more play into what you're doing,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
Super.
and to
Oh my
connect.
God.
And also, I wouldn't have danced that day or those days had that song wasn't shared. So I don't know about you guys, but whenever I dance, my energy just goes up.
That's true.
Up.
Cedri was there. We were playing on this exact example I was sharing. So we
Oh,
did dance
man.
to each song, and it
Awesome.
was fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Um, the other day I went to the park also. I'll share another game that we did here in Houston. We went to a park and several times already. And boy, we just tell people we carry around a stand and a camera and some lights too. And we're there just walking as if we were like some sort of film crew. Okay. And some people do want to be filmed, others don't want to be filmed. But we ask them, hey, can I interview you? This is for like a school project. And we just want to ask you what lights you up. And some go like this, like, what do you mean what lights me up? And like they don't need nobody has ever asked them and so some get curious, some ask from which university, from which school, and we're like, yeah, from Sage University, and we want to ask you what lights you up. Can we film you? And some people say, okay, okay. They light up and we film them, and some don't, but we still interview them anyway without the video. We ask them, okay, can we ask you a couple of questions? And we keep asking them about them, about what they do, what lights them up. And there was this lady from Ecuador that she's been living in the US for quite some time already, and she's had kids here. And she said that she lives um like she lives in like a dream, because she uh, she can see herself in her family's eyes. And I was like, wow. And then this other guy that we interviewed, he works for GE, but then GE got bought, that division got bought by Baker Hughes, an oil and gas company here in Houston. And he told us about how 2 years ago the HR department was different, and this and this and that. And he told us that his whole life, how he's a grandfather of two, and how he loves to play baseball with his grandsons, and not so much basketball. I mean, he went all details, and how he loves to do photography, and he hasn't been in his function really taking pictures of things, and he loves to compose photography. And he told us that he has traveled, and he lit up so much that now he's gonna go to one of our events. And yeah, and he's one
Good
of the
job.
ones that he didn't want to get filmed, but we made a friend anyway. So
Oh, your game lit him up. You won him by your game. That's so cool. I
oh yeah,
love it.
yes. And then
Wow.
in another one of those occasions, one of these ladies, she also works in the oil and gas business in the corporate world. And yeah, she hired us to be her communication coaches. And so by meeting people like this in the park, you can move some money too. So
Nice.
super, super.
That's
I love it.
amazing.
And
Having
I
fun and moving money by just speaking with people and making friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? And Bruce.
Yeah, well, speaking of fun, many times when I make cold calls, because that's part of what I also do, to reach out to people by phone. And every so often, there's a standard hello and everything. And then I say, you know what? I change it up when I say, for the next 10 calls, I'm not going to try to sell anything. I'm just going to have fun with them. And they'll pick up the phone and go, hello. And I'll go, hi. And I'll go, happy Monday. And I would say 9 times out of 10, the people breathe. And then their voice changes. They go, hello. And then you say that, they go, oh yeah, yeah, it's Monday. Or, they make a comment like that. And that opens up the opportunity just to say, well, what's going on? What do you guys do? Whatever the questions are, I don't really remember. It comes off, is it fun? So I'm not really trying to get anything. I'm not even trying to sell them. I'm not trying to get them to do anything. But if I can light them up and have them smile and break character of that corporate phone person or the person who answers the phone, then I've succeeded. And many times that leads into great conversations. And a few times that led me to them saying, you really got to speak to the head of our human resource department. And they put me through to them, and I get to speak to them about different ways of training and, and partnerships with them. And that's led to other things from there, just by playing and having fun.
I mean, just lighting people up is an incredible game with no agenda. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And then it lights you up. It's a circuit. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you comment that you get through to the HR departments here and there, I noticed that I lit up. I was like, oh, he gets through sometimes. Awesome. Yeah, go for the score. Go for the score. Like, I'm getting excited here. Awesome, Bruce. Super.
Cool.
See how that is creating team energy for us to even maybe make calls?
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, I want to call some human resources.
Yeah. And
Actually-
Cedric, yeah, you had somebody, right?
Oh, yes, I have that example. But as this story came up, Bruce, so I actually sent an email to somebody in human resources at a tech company today. And guess what, guys? I wanted to call and follow up, but I got busy or I don't know. I thought of it and I was like, oh, I'll do it later. One of those thoughts. of like, I'll just do it later, and then it never happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
if you
now
want,
I'm
I can help you. We can call together.
I was gonna just say you've inspired me. Just, you know what? I'm gonna call her tomorrow. You know, today it's already after 5, but
Right.
I'm gonna commit.
Okay. All right. We're gonna hold you
Right now.
accountable.
Yes.
You're gonna call them. Awesome.
Yes,
Great.
I'm gonna call her and just follow up to see if she got the email, and I'm not gonna think about it too much or at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
No thinking.
perfect. Don't think.
No
We don't want
thinking.
anything. Just
Nope.
think, I don't want anything. I just want to see if I can connect to her.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The connection is everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Building those bridges of trust.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Cedric, you had an example of somebody that called you, right?
Yes, called me on I believe Friday.
And there was no
They were
connection, right?
this guy was trying to sell me something for my Kangen water business, trying to sell me like the first spot when you search in, you know, on Google.
You know,
You know, one of the first spots on the first page or something, right?
right.
Like, yeah, I've already been sold this before and I tried it, didn't work.
Oh.
And, you know, but it's all about trying things, right? And so I already knew what he was trying to sell me. And I honestly, at the beginning, I literally thought it was a recording, because you know how some calls are like a recording
Yeah.
scam.
Mhm.
Is this a recording? Oh no, I rarely get on the phone, but just you got it's your lucky day because now I'm on the phone today.
I think it was his lucky day he got on the phone with you.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
So it just started off bad. Literally thinking it was a recording, and it wasn't. Okay, so then we crossed that. Okay, it's not a recording. Let me listen to this guy. And
Mhm.
man, his tone was so salesy. It was harsh. It was loud. I don't even know why I didn't you know why I didn't hang up? Because I was like, I'm just gonna give this guy a feedback.
Good. It lights you up.
He was not trained by Bruce to
No,
light you up,
he
that's for sure.
It wasn't
Warm-
exactly. I even had to tell him, like, look, I'm a woman here.
Oh, no.
It's very harsh. And then he went into explaining why it was hard. Oh, I'm used to presenting to large groups of 1,000 people, and maybe that's why it's so loud.
Oh my gosh. No way.
Wow.
He had a reason, which whatever, it could have been a valid reason, but she not 1,000 people.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had a reason.
He didn't really connect with you, and then he went into all explanation mode and everything.
Oh, and it was all about why I needed that service. And like, dude, you don't even know who I am.
Oh man.
Get to know me.
Yeah, man.
Something.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And
so you
even-
gave some feedback? Is that what you said?
So even someone in the room, I actually was getting ready to leave for an appointment at home, and I had him on speakerphone because I was just preparing to leave, right, and getting stuff ready. You know, got to get my water ready and everything. So I had him on speakerphone, and the call dropped, and the other person was like, dang, that sounded like a scammer. Like, why are you even still on the phone? And then he called me back and was like, because I got to give him feedback. And I'm like, still on the phone with him, getting in my car and just still listening. And I'm getting on the highway. And that's when I gave him the feedback, when I was right merging on the highway.
Wow. You gave him a lot of time.
I got to give this guy that feedback, at least if it's the last thing I do before I end this call.
Yeah.
Great, Pedro. Wow.
Yeah, and in fact, I gave, you know, when I told him about how his tone was very loud and harsh, he kind of relaxed a little bit. Then he was like, well, I had twins when I was 16 or something.
Oh my gosh. You just opened his heart. Wow.
Yeah.
Good
With
job,
feedback.
Cedric.
Yeah.
You want him.
Yeah, then he was like, "What are you trying to sell me?" I'm like, "Nothing." I just,
He wanted to buy something from you, I guess, huh?
So cool.
Wow.
and the call
Wow.
dropped again, and I didn't call him back.
He's probably like, wow, that was the craziest call. Like, probably he's probably still thinking about you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And maybe you improved his game, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like the cold calls got to be warm. There's got to be
Yeah.
warm in there.
Yeah.
Some kind
That's
of warm.
funny. The cold calls have to be warm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's a great story. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Super.
So you made a game out of it. You were finding feedback. You saw the opportunity to give that to a stranger that obviously needed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone. You guys shared such great stories. You know, the playfulness, if you don't have the play in your work and your career, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
It's so painful. You cannot handle the pressures of having a career if you don't have the play. So find the play, create games, watch our shows. Mariana's show, Earning a Living by Living Your Dream. Watching this show, Selling with from the Heart.
Heart.
All of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Selling from
I
the
noticed we
heart.
weren't really, you know, I had to add that in at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
All
See you
right.
next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I